This alleged future-telling piece of novelty kit is making me crazy. Stick around to find out why. All right, so I dug this little guy out of my shed, and I thought, you know, it'd be fun to do a 2 or 3 minute video just showing this executive decision maker, which is really sort of a digital version of the mystery 8-ball or the magic 8-ball. You shake it up and you look and ask it a question and it says, outlook not so good. This is the digital version of that. And I clearly remember my dad going into his boss's office and asking him a question about taking a day off or a raise or something. And the guy reached over to his desk, he picked this up, and he actually did it. And I'm going to show you how this thing works, but how it works and what it does is not nearly as interesting as why I'm incredibly frustrated by this device. But first, let's get started by showing you exactly what it is. So inside this little box here, this is obviously not a perfect mint condition version, but it's what I got. I do happen to have the instruction booklet here. Pseudo instruction booklet. It's more of one of those fold out leaflet devices that tell you exactly how to use it. Let me read this to you. Having trouble making up your mind? Well, this will do it for you. Just add a battery and press a button. No more decisions to make. Leave it up to the decision maker. Don't like the decision? Ask again. Great for parties or even in the executive's office. And there's more to go, but this is it. This is the little booklet that it comes with it. This device itself is textbook Radio Shack, the genuine simulated wood grain, along with the sort of futuristic look at the top with the little silver lines on it, right? In the back, you can see there's a little opening here for the little speaker to play, so it's going to make some sort of noise when we turn it on. And if you slide open the little battery cover, you'll see that it does house a 9-volt battery. So, okay, let's see it work. So you turn it on, turn it up nice and close here. Yeah, turn it on, and you ask it a question, will I reach 3,000 subscribers from this video? You push the button, and it gives you an answer, and my answer is never. Well, that's probably true. So maybe this device does have some sort of future fortune-telling capabilities. But it's a rather simple device. It's just fun. It's a little novelty device. And again, it's more along the lines of a digital version of the Magic 8-Ball. So why is this thing making me crazy? What could possibly be making me mental about this thing? I don't know what year it came out. I don't know when this device came out. Now you can look at it and go, Shane, 70s, 75, 76 tops, right? That's the technology level. That has to be it. But the truth is we don't know. There's no Wikipedia article. Google it, go to eBay, look at all the listings. The listings all say 1970s novelty, 1970s novelty device. Is that true? Probably, maybe, I don't know. You know, Radio Shack used this wood grain box type scenario up until like 1987 or 88. You know how I know? I spent 2 hours digging through 20 years of Radio Shack catalogs from RadioShackCatalogs.com. I dug through every page, ranging from 130 to 186 pages per catalog, trying to find this device in a catalog so that I could simply say on my YouTube video, let's look at the 19 something or another executive decision maker. This short video turned out to be a complete nightmare. So it's not in a catalog anywhere. That sucks. Nobody on eBay actually has a date. I searched everywhere. I looked at Wikipedia. I did my homework. The release date of this thing doesn't exist. It's not on the device. It's not in the manual. It's not on the box. It's not on the only thing that would prove what date this came out would be a receipt. And even then, you could have bought it a year after it came out, 2 years after it came out. So what do you do when you can't figure out the provenance of a particular item? You take it apart, which is exactly what we're going to do. But even that led to a whole bunch of pain in the butt for me making this video. So let's open this guy up together and see if we can get some sort of an answer out of this. All right, so we've looked over the executive decision maker, and let's get a closer look and see if we can figure out when this guy was made. We have a catalog number, which if you look it up, will tell you exactly what this is, which is the Radio Shack executive decision maker, but it doesn't really tell you when it was released. You would think that somewhere on the back of the box, the top of the box, maybe even the sticker that says the price tag might have some sort of a date or some sort of some signage on that might tell us what the date is, but there really isn't anything. If we look this guy up a little bit closer and we actually look at the device that itself, Notice there's a little chip in there. If you look at the device itself, you see that the QC, there was a quality control passed. It says that custom manufactured in China for Radio Shack, a division of Tandy Corporation. You got the Radio Shack sticker down here, which also tells you absolutely nothing about the device and when it was made. So we look at the front, we look everywhere else. How about the manual? Surely the manual has to have something. It's the executive decision maker. Having trouble making up your mind? Well, you can look here and it's pretty clear that there's no date whatsoever on here. Important notice, Radio Shack, division of Tandy, blah, blah, blah. That's all you got. Nothing. There's no receipt. There's nothing on the inside flaps. There's nothing to indicate the date that this thing came out. So what do? You go to the internet, you search, you look on Google, you look on Wikipedia, you can't find anything. The only thing we have left now is to disassemble the thing and hope that there might be something on the device, inside the device, that might tell us what date this thing was made. So, as per everything else in the quest, trying to figure out more about this little device, I came up empty. Not only finding information, but also finding a damn screwdriver that would fit this thing. These holes are extraordinarily deep. I had screwdrivers that would fit in here, but nothing that would go that far down. I mean, that's how far you're talking. Look at this. That's huge, right? And then I also had ones that were too fat that were long enough. I actually had to go to Home Depot just before making this video and buy a screwdriver. And it's a good thing I brought the unit with me because I would have bought a screwdriver that still didn't fit. Fortunately for us, it now fits. I have one that works. So let's take this guy apart. I am not an unboxing or take apart kind of guy. I leave that to Techmoan and the other people who are much better at it than me. But let's go ahead and take this guy apart and let's see what the insides look like and see if anything is helpful in here. So let's take this guy apart. Oop, I just heard things clacking. Those are the buttons, I think, falling out. Anything in there? Oh, nothing. All right, so there's still something else rolling around in here. Here's one button. Oh, and then there's the switch that didn't fall. Oh, there it goes. The switch fell off too. So you take the top off and there's nothing actually connected to the top. The little buttons fell out, of course. So what we have here, let's take a closer look at this guy. So we have some resistors. We have some real basic electronic stuff here. You can see here's the button to actually push, the slider to handle the power on or off. Pretty basic stuff. I know nothing about electronics, so I'm not going to try to tell you what all of this stuff is. I am looking for a date. So I'm looking here, I see a revision C with a number. Not a whole lot on there, very useful really. We look around, we look at the underside of the board, and I've had a very close look at this guy, and there is nothing on the board other than the revision again that tells us what this board was made or what it does. So the only thing we have here are two decision logic gate chips. This was the only thing that I found to lead us to any sort of conclusion as to when this device may have been made. Unfortunately, these chips, we did look it up. I looked it up online and found out that these chips were widely commercially used in 1978. So the earliest this device probably was on the market was 1978. However, that doesn't mean that it came out in 1978. All we know is that it pretty much couldn't have come out before then. So it could have come out in 79 or 80 or 81. We just don't know, and there's simply no information whatsoever to tell us when this guy was made. The best we've got are the chip manufacturing, commercial manufacturing dates, which is 1978, which means probably 1979, 1980. This is a luxury novelty device. If I had my guess, I would say that a luxury novelty device would not get the chips from the same year that they came out. I would say this is probably 1979 or maybe 1980. I would love to know for sure. If anybody happens to have that information, I've searched everywhere and I cannot find it, but I am sure that there are people a lot smarter than me that could hopefully put the final nail in this coffin. So this is it. This is the guy. This turned out to be a lot bigger of an undertaking than I was planning on doing with this guy. I expected to turn this thing on for a few moments and show it to you and have a couple of laughs. Tell you the story that my dad went to his boss's office and asked him a rather important question. And the answer from my boss was given to him by this device. Turned out that it happened to be what my dad wanted to hear, which was good. But in reality, it's absolutely crazy that I have no providence for this device whatsoever. But we took it apart and it still works. It possibly still works. It does work. So there you go. Listen, we still don't have an answer. If you know the answer to when this thing was made, even better yet, if you have a receipt. I was hoping when I opened this box there'd be a receipt in it for when it was purchased, but there was not. So if you have a receipt, if you happen to actually know for sure what year this thing was made and released, I would love to know, because that is actually far more fascinating of information than the device itself. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the little notification bell. It means the world to us to increase our subscriber base. Thanks so much for watching. As always, I'm Shane R. Monroe. Take care, everybody.